So hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Masai Gains on Cars. Today I've got a beautiful Prado 150 series. This is a 2.7 liter petrol. Thank you to Ace Prestige Motors for giving me this vehicle today. If you guys want to buy a new car, used or brand new, this is the place to check out if you're in Nairobi. Gong Road, Ace Prestige Motors. They got Land Cruisers, they got Range Rovers, they got it all. So want to buy a car? Check them out. Alright guys, so here we are on the back of the Prado. I'm just going to take you through a walkthrough of this vehicle. I know a lot of you have been commenting and a lot of you have wanted the Prado on this channel, and I've had a lot of Land Cruiser 100s and a Land Cruiser 200s. But now we're here diving into the 150 series Prado. This is a 2014 version. It's not a facelift, it's an original shape 2014. We've got a 2.7 liter petrol engine VVTi. You can see it's rocking some 17-inch alloy rims. We've got a 265 tire in size, and it's finished in a metallic black finish, no pearl or nothing fancy like that. So it's a Prado variant. You can see the styling here. I actually quite like these lights. If you can see, there's a projector beam included in there, and you got a halogen and you got LED fogs. But I think Toyota did a lot with the Prado design, you know, coming from the initial series and then moving on to the 120 series Prado, and then coming all the way up to the 150 series, which is this one. They did a lot in terms of the headlights and the big grille in the front, and it actually became quite a bit of a wider vehicle. But you can see it's a nice shape, it's a nice looking vehicle, it's got a good stance, and it is also, of course, a rugged, dependable SUV. It holds the Land Cruiser badge on it. It's got a live axle in the rear, independent front suspension in the front, and as you can see, the design is very reminiscent of that 200 series in terms of how the panels of the body attach and how the overall design has been constructed. But this vehicle, of course, does differ from a full-size cruiser. But if we go over it, you can see it's a well-spec'd vehicle. This is a TX version. With the Prados, TX is the basic version. Then you can go up to a TZ, and you can even have a TZG version. So coming into this interior, you know, it is a Prado variant, which is a bit of a below the full-size Land Cruiser. So you might find this interior to be a bit bland, but that is how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be basic in nature, but you've got all your functionality in there. Everything is well laid out and easy to use. You do have stop-start ignition, and that makes it a bit more, you know, homely and a bit easier to use this SUV. Fabric on the door panels and all automatic windows. Well laid out interior. And pretty functional, you know, nothing that you would particularly complain about. As you can see, quite spacious as well. The fabric continues onto here. It's actually quite soft, and you've of course got the fully automatic windows. Now coming around the back, you know, with the Prado, it's a bit different from the Land Cruiser, the full-size Land Cruiser. You don't get the split tailgate, and so we have the classic Prado door opening, which, if you've watched my 120 series video, you know I'm quite a fan of these. Look at that big strut right there. So, I mean, you got the rear seats up right now, but we can put these down in a second. And right, so it's really simple, and just like that, your rear seats are down. Now I know some of you will not like this, the way this is actually elevated, You actually, if you're putting luggage in, you know, you're gonna have to bump that luggage up, which is a bit annoying. But you've got good storage space and your tools and everything locked away here with double latches. So let's get that engine started. So you have, of course, got the push start ignition with the Prados, as you see. Foot on the brake, turns green. There you go, nothing too crazy. I mean, 2.7 liter engine, but well lit up dials. These circular shapes are very reminiscent of the prior models of the 200 series, which is quite interesting to me. So as you can see, you get a little mini display as well, and then of course your speedometers and the annoying Japanese over there. But apart from that, on the interior you can see we've got spare buttons here in case you want to wire up some spotlights or something like that. Simple automatic gearbox, and you know, very basic. Your climate control buttons well laid out, and a little multimedia system here that you can of course change out if you want to put something else in here. But you can see this has got a Pioneer system, which is more than adequate. Alright guys, so you know the Prado, it's a good vehicle. A lot of you have been asking about it because a lot of you are seeing that should you go for a Prado or should you even go for the full-size Land Cruiser, you know, the 100 series or so. But I must admit, you know, I've always loved Prados because of my 120 series, and I've been an owner of a Prado. And in this version they sort of just updated everything, but I will say there's a lot more usage of plastic in Prados. You can't get away from that as compared to the full-size Cruiser. So there's nothing wrong with this vehicle, but there's going to be more creaks and more plastic usage. But still, you get good storage in here, you get good comfortable fabric seats. I would be okay in here for a couple of hours. You know, you get less automatic electrically controlled things. Example, the steering wheel, it's completely manual. I want to move it, there I go. Yeah, fix it where you want and that's it, we're done. Put the latch back. But you know, you got a simple Pioneer system that you can switch out if it ever goes bad. Climate control is well laid out for you. It's a simplistic, functional vehicle, and I think that's what we all love Prados for. So why don't I take you in the front to check out this engine. So here we are guys, I mean, simple 2.7 liter petrol engine, VVTi of course, so variable valve timing, very efficient, you know, and this will take you a good amount of time. So of course, benefits of that 2.7 liter engine is you know, the good economy. I would expect you'd get north of 7 or 8 kilometers per liter in this vehicle. So one more thing I wanted to cover with the Prado is that you will get a smaller wheel than you do in the Land Cruiser 100 series. I remember this from my 120. So you will get a 265 in size and you'll get a 16-inch rim. So a 265 65 R17. This particular vehicle actually has a 17-inch rim. But with the Prados, what we see is you get the independent front suspension in the front, as we have seen with most of the sort of Land Cruisers after the 98 versions, and at the back you still get the solid axle, but you get standard shocks all around. The TX version doesn't feature any hydraulic shocks or anything like that. You have to go up to the TZG if you want rear suspension to be air, but in this particular one you get standard coils and standard shocks all around, which is going to be more reliable in the long term. So that's something to consider. I'm in the Prado 150 series now. We've got it started, and I thought I'll just give you a quick ride impressions. I know how these vehicles do drive, but I can give you some quick ride impressions. There's no issues with that. They have refined the Prado quite a bit. Like right now, if I'm gonna go over this little gutter, quite soft, you know, and for no hydraulic setups or anything like that, this is a comfortable vehicle. And I get that's what a lot of you seem to compare it to. You know, you say that any modern vehicle is going to be more comfortable than some of the older vehicles, and I agree with that. You know, I can agree with that. This Prado, it just feels like it's absolutely brand new. Now granted, it only has 50,000 kilometers on it, but the suspension is so smooth. It really is. For coils all around, very, very smooth. In fact, I'm quite surprised how well this TX Prado is driving. I mean, we're coming up against a ridge over here. Now granted, you're of course you're going to be bouncing around a bit more in a Prado than you are in the full-size cruiser, but it's by no means unbearable, and it still feels like a big vehicle and a good vehicle to drive. Guys, quick overview today, not a full review, but a lot more videos coming, because I've partnered with my guys here at Ace Prestige Motors, so I can get vehicles for you to review, and I can check vehicles out and let you guys know what the goods and the bads are, and help you in your buying experience. Anyways, this is all for the love of cars, and this is by no means my full-time thing. This is just a hobby. So if you enjoy, hit like, subscribe, comment down below, and enjoy.